everybody, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have my Winter Booktubeathon wrap-up. I know I didn't make a TBR video, but I definitely participated. I didn't find out about it until the day before it started, so I found out Saturday, and it started Sunday. So it was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I was going to make the video Sunday, but then I just got caught up in reading, and I was must read instead. And I was doing so many other errands and things this week that I just was I'm just gonna film the wrap up after. So I'm gonna show you one book that I read before it even started. I read this book Saturday, but this wasn't part of the Booktubeathon, but this is the only book that I really read since my last wrap up. So I read Winter Stroll by Elin Hilderbrand. This is the sequel to the not the Winter Street, I think it's just Winter Street. This is going to be a trilogy, and this is a first for Elin Hilderbrand. Most of her books are just standalones, but these are a series. I kind of wish these books were just all one big book, because I just can't wait for the next one. This ended on such a cliffhanger. I just want the last one to wrap it up, especially knowing how her books are usually formatted, how sometimes they're by month and things like that. And I just wish that it was just here's the first part, second part, third part, even though they take place at the same time, but the year later, I'd still rather them have them all in the same book. But I definitely really enjoyed this book. I gave this book 5 stars, and I cannot wait to get to the next one. I do recommend, I saw a question on Goodreads asking if you had to read the first book before you read this one, and I definitely recommend that you do. I feel you'll be totally lost, especially if you're not used to Elin Hilderbrand's writing. She doesn't exactly do chapters, she just kind of skips from events, so one whole chapter is that day, and she changes from character to character. So really, if you're not used to her writing style, definitely pick up the first one before you try jumping into the second one. But I cannot wait till next year to get my hands on the third book. And thanks again to Jen for giving me this book, because I don't know what I would have done without it. And then the next 3 are the 3 that I read for the Booktubeathon. The Booktubeathon had 4 challenges. The first one was to read a book with white on the cover, to read a book that was a gift, and to read a book that continues a series or something that you love, or anything really. And the fourth one was to read 3 books in those 3 days, and I completed all 4 challenges. I was so excited. The first book that I completed was The Serpent's Shadow by Rick Riordan. I read this book on Sunday. This is my first book to read. This is the 3rd and final book in the Kane Chronicles. So this was to continue the series. I could even use it for there's white on the cover because of the obelisk. I can never say that word. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. The only downside to this entire trilogy is the romance. I just feel there's romance in this book, and it's not necessary. It's a middle grade book, and the characters are just way too young to have romance, in my opinion. I felt I could have done without it. This book has so much action and all this other stuff going on that, the romance side of it just wasn't necessary. Sorry, Bella just tried to, go under the chair that I'm filming on. But I just felt this just wasn't necessary, the romance. But, if you take the romance out of it, it has that adventure, that fun, and it was still a really, really good series. And then my next book was originally going to be my white on the cover, but then, because clearly it's White City, but then I couldn't decide which one to read the next day, so I decided to use this as my gift book. Back in August for our anniversary, Patrick gave me a gift card to buy books, so I bought this book, so that would be a gift. But technically, because it actually came as an ex-library edition, I took the dust jacket that was from the library off it. Because it was technically an ex-library book and I didn't order that, they technically gave it to me for free, so gift times 2. This is The Blossom Street Brides by Debbie Macomber. This is the 10th book in the Blossom Street series. This is one of those series that you really don't have to read in order. They go together, but they're mostly companion novels, where you kind of have characters that float throughout all of them, or float through them. It's basically about this one street and the different people that live on the street. So I've read I figured this out the other day. I think I read 5, 7, 8, 9, and now 10. But like I do have hopes to go back and read the other ones. They're actually currently all in my wish list on Thrift Books, and they're all currently there, and it's taking all my willpower not to buy them all. But yeah, I really enjoy this series. They're definitely like just like guilty pleasure like books where they're just you want an easy light read and you're gonna get that from these. I gave this book 4 stars. The one thing that I kind of didn't like was just my reading of it because of the fact that the 9th one ended with like a whole bunch of people getting engaged, and for some reason I had it in my head that this was going to be like all of their weddings, and it wasn't at all. Like the wedding, like how it says Blossom Street Brides, I don't know where we get the brides plural. Maybe I get it kind of. But like the wedding wasn't even like a big to do kind of thing, and I felt like it came out of nowhere. Like it wasn't like in the first half of the book. It kind of came towards the end, and it was just kind of like, hello, here's a wedding. And I don't know. So I feel like if I had gone into it kind of expecting that, like I would have given it 5 stars and it would have been fabulous. But like the fact that like I was expecting 3 brides getting married and it wasn't that at all kind of set me off a little bit. So I still really enjoyed it. It was still really good. I just was confused by it for quite a bit of the book. So yeah, definitely still really good. I definitely recommend the series. Even if you pick up like a random book in the series, they're all still so really good. And then the last book that I read was For the Read White on the cover, and that was 10 Tiny Breaths by K.A. Tucker. This is the first book in a series as well, but I think that this is like companion novels as well, because I kind of looked at the synopsis for the next couple because I thought this one just ended. I was like, this one ended pretty good, like why is there more? But come to find out, they're companion novels, so I will probably check those out. This is also another 4-star read for me. If you read the synopsis, like it just like grabs you and you just want to read it. Like this sounded so good, and most of it was actually pretty good, but it's so weird that I keep saying this, but like the romance just was weird. Like I loved every other element of this book, every other element, but the way they did the romance just wasn't working. It was just kind of like out of nowhere, unrealistic, just all of a sudden like I met you, I hate you, but I love you, and it's like, where did that come from? Like, why are you suddenly like in love? Like, where are the sparks? What led you to this love? Like, it just didn't, the love just didn't make sense. But like the rest of the book was so captivating and so good, but like that was just weird. There is a huge twist at the end that I kind of predicted, but it was still so good. Like the twist makes it so like cringy and like, oh my god. But like the romance just like I just wish that it was a little bit more developed, especially because this book is already so short. Like you could have added a couple more pages of actual development of understanding of why this relationship kind of came to be. But I still really enjoyed it. I think I might check out the rest of the books if I can get them. But yeah, I definitely recommend this book. I had seen it all over YouTube and like I didn't really understand like what it was really about. Like I just kept seeing people be like, I love it or like I hate it. It's got a lot of mixed feelings about it. I even saw that Whitney just read it and she really despised it and didn't like it. But I thought it like I feel like I would ruin it if I tried to tell you the synopsis, but I definitely want you to check it out. It's just like about people with like obviously troubled pasts and trying to run away from them and falling into different situations because of that past. So obviously your past is always going to catch up to you, kind of thing. But definitely read the synopsis on Goodreads, and I think you will probably be interested in this book as well. So I did add it up. I think I also read 995 pages, I think, if I added it up right, throughout this whole booktubeathon. So I can kind of count this as a success. Like 3 books is pretty decent. And then obviously the book prior to that, because I read this actually all in one day as well. So not bad, especially for being extremely busy the past 3 days. So check another booktubeathon under my belt. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, everybody.